baby.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. On 1st and 10, Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's convert. 550.
A first down throw for Winston. Jackson's got it over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. First down, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The give is to Jones. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now it's the Boise State alum. Jay Ajayi takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
40, 82, 40, black.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Great. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Brandon Graham in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Wentz going to throw. Going up top. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, it's Jones. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
On third down, Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Great 15, great 15.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And give him a gain of 37. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's Ajayi. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Last time out they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Keep bringing it. Stay in there.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's the first NFL touchdown of the young career of Ronald Jones as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes our score 17-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Wentz now on first down. Hurts has it left side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Come on now, come on now, let's go. Black.
To throw is Wentz. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Second down, Winston. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Vinny Curry in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
81.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Great.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. His throw caught, at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles get a score closer. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On play action, Winston. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
82.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Shorty.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Mitch Unrein able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. They're scripting.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Vinny Curry in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Drain 15.
To throw, it's Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Shorty.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Here's Jackson. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Sonic! Ready! Black 25! Green, triple C!
Play action now. Winston. He sets to fire deep. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Ready! Blue lady! Green, triple C!
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On first down, Wentz. Oh, he can't hang on. There was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick, but instead it falls down incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
81.
Now Wentz. Forced out to his left. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They run for it with a giant. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Wentz now on first down. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. Wentz now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. They run with Ajayi. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
We're good.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Michael Bannon in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Working out of the gun, Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Quan Alexander in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Wentz going to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jason Pierre-Paul able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Lefty. Run.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down again. Gerald McCoy in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 23 yards on the play. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Jameis to throw it. He's got Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
Let's go now. Easy. Ready. Let's go.
A give to Jones. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Blue lady. Come on. Sunday. 58, right over there. Yeah. Right, 58, right there. You ain't going nowhere. That 58 is the light. 58 is the light.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Let's convert.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They come out here in the eye.
Black 22. Switch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let's go now. Let's go.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a one-score game. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Great 15. Great 15. There we go. Back there.
Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Chris Conte. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Winston here to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. And they try to sweep to Jones. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Tampa Bay, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll drop to 0-2.
hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy. Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yo, I'm too up. Round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up.